Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Ash, aka I'm a Ghostbuster. Today I'm doing a review for Ara Fell Enhanced Edition on Xbox. Now this was released onto the Xbox Store in 2020 and it's developed by Stegosoft Games and it was published by Dangan Entertainment, and they were kind enough to send me a copy for this video review, so big thank you to them for that. Now, this game is an enhanced edition of a previously released game that came out on Steam in about 2016, if I'm correct. And basically, this is an RPG Maker made RPG. So it basically harks back to sort of the classic sort of SNES era of JRPGs. That sort of 16-bit RPG sort of time period where it was all turn-based, like early Final Fantasy, that kind of thing. Now, the story of this game is a pretty sort of generic affair. It's not going to win awards for sort of like original mind-blowingness. Basically, it follows the story of a girl named Lita who goes on some sort of adventure with a friend to basically find this magic ring, basically. And basically, she puts it on, even though she's been told not to, as they always do in games and films and everything like that. Don't put that ring on, it's bad. I'm going to stick it on anyway. And basically, that marks her as like this sort of chosen one for these elves. And it basically leads to, obviously, an epic quest. Now, like I say, the plot itself is pretty generic. It's not the most exciting, but like I say, it does keep you sort of interested throughout. The main thing that shines in this game is, to me, the graphics. Like I say, the pixel graphics in this game look absolutely fantastic. There's so much detail in the environments and everything like that. The UI looks great. To say this is an RPG Maker game, like I say, it looks fantastic compared to a lot of the RPG Maker games I've seen over the years. Like I say, they normally don't look this good. And the soundtrack is absolutely fantastic. It's got great sort of backing songs and stuff like that. They just take you away to this sort of mystical fantasy world. So they've done an absolutely sort of fantastic job in that sense. Now, the gameplay is turn-based combat. Basically, if you've ever played like an old school sort of JRPG, you'll know exactly what you're getting into. There's some fantastic enemy designs and sort of enemy sort of artwork. It looks really, really, really good, and you're gonna get quite a lot of content out of this game. It's got the sort of standard story, like I say. It's got all the side quests you'd expect from a game. Like I say, basically it takes place on this world that's floating above like a dead world below, and you basically have this giant open world to explore. There's loads to do. The main complaint, and I've seen this online from a lot of other people as well, is the world and like the maps in the game are quite confusing, and you can get quite a bit lost, unfortunately. So while there is a giant open world as such, it can be a negative as well as a positive. Now, gameplay-wise, like I say, if you're going for the achievements on this, to sort of fully complete the game, you're looking at between sort of 30 and 40 hours. It's a lot of content, but you also have to complete every battle on expert difficulty. And one thing that is good about this game, there isn't a whole host of those random battles that you do get in sort of other JRPGs. You can avoid a lot of the combat. There's a lot more sort of quest-based things, a lot more narrative-based things I found in this game, which I like. I do like JRPGs, but even now I've been going back through a couple of JRPGs on the Xbox, like Ni no Kuni and stuff like that, and there is a lot of the just randomized battles, and it feels like every sort of 10 paces I'm in a fight with someone randomly. And while it's great to get the XP, I do appreciate games that don't sort of force feed them to you like every other step. Now, the game is priced at £12.49, playable on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S, and according to the Xbox Store, it has 4K resolution and supports HDR10 as well. But, like I say, if you want a sort of pretty well-rounded JRPG game that's 2D, sort of harks back to sort of the classic golden age of RPGs for some people, at a decent price with a large amount of content, I highly recommend this one. Like I say, it's not perfect by any means. The story is a bit generic, and like I say, the world can be a bit cluttered and messy, but it looks fantastic. It's super detailed. The soundtrack is fantastic, and you're gonna have a good time. Like I say, it's just you'll probably not remember it in a few years' time, but the journey and the gameplay of it now is well worth the price of admission. But that's it for this video, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and we'll see you soon for more content. Bye for now.